God, I don't know how many Molly Rutter videos I've done now. I think I've done several, but she's quickly become my favorite little rage baiter over on TikTok. If you don't know who she is, and you know of like the Amberlynn Reid verse and the Foodie Beauty verse, little corner of the internet, well, she's a hybrid of both of them.
As flirty as our conversation was via text, he's not really flirting very much in person. So I might ask him about that.
She talks like Amberlynn Reid. Some of the stuff she pulls is very Foodie Beauty-esque. So I would classify her as part of that world. Enjoy hearing about whatever them two are getting up to. So obviously when I stumbled across Molly Rutter, she quickly became like one of my favourites just to catch up on what's been going on and with her rage baiting.
The good news? Both of my dates this weekend aren't happening! Yay! Oh, wonderful.
Long story short, she is like a dating TikToker. It's not all that she does, but she is most well known for going out with men who are way younger than her, and going through really hilarious dating stories where it kind of makes you scratch your head, like, is this real, is this not real? Not long ago she got into this whole drama, pulled a prank involving alluding to the fact that she was abused by her date. That didn't happen, and then lo and behold, the next video that she posted after this video was an ad for this Halloween walkthrough thing. But she pulls those kind of stunts quite a bit, and just like what happened with Foodie Beauty and Amberlynn Reid, supporters start dwindling. And I was there years ago when this first started happening to both Foodie Beauty and Amberlynn Reid. Well, this is what's happening to Molly. If you go onto her TikTok, she has got so much hate. And the thing is that if you're not clued in to what exactly she has done and the little lies, the little white lies that she does and the clickbaitiness, she cannot take criticism of any description. You are not aware of that. You're like, what's the matter? Like, this girl's funny. Like, what's the matter? She seems totally down to earth. No. You need to hang around for a little bit before you realise what's actually going on. I'll guide you through the latest of what's been going on with Molly, because she has some creators on TikTok, just the commentary community, just absolutely scratching their heads, because in the span of like 2 days, she's went from Molly's going political to I'm never going to be talking about dates or TikTok shops ever again, to basically going like, no, everything's so trivial, to just going back to posting TikTok shops about Christmas trees.
The past 24 hours, you have commented on my TikTok complaining about your opinion about my catfishing dating profile. Like, seriously, all I can say is we are very different types of people.
So let me set the scene. So it all started off with a date, and this time she went on a date, and one of the main criticisms is that she always brings her dogs with her. Well, this guy just so happened to bring his dog with him as well, and she has been getting a bit of criticism, a bit of backlash recently, because her dating pictures are not up to date. Okay, I personally don't think they're up to date, but I'm not going to be showing them here because I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean. But I don't think they're up to date. And the problem is with Molly is that she has a lot of first dates, but doesn't often have a lot of second dates. So people are very, perhaps rightly assuming that maybe people turn up and they go, you don't look like the same person that's on your Hinge profile. That was a whole palaver, and she was extremely upset that people managed to find her Hinge profile. But you know, people are just trying to help her out. Maybe not by finding it, but by giving her pointers, saying, hey, maybe you should update your profile picture. The guy turned up to the date, and Molly says that I don't think he's as into me as he was over text. So you kind of put two and two together.
Oh my god. Really handsome in person. We're having a good time, but I would say like I feel like I just feel like a little lukewarm about it, just because he's not like giving me much. Like, as flirty as our conversation was via text, he's not really flirting very much in person. I might ask him about that. Honestly, it makes me think maybe he's not as attracted to me in person, or maybe he's just like more shy in person. I don't know exactly what it is, but I might ask him about that. I don't know. something's a little off. I don't know exactly why.
And as you can see, the top comments are basically people saying like, why were you filming on this date? Is it maybe to do with you not updating your pictures? I don't know, just crazy concept. Okay, so what then happened is that 2 days went past, it was post-election, it all went deadly quiet, and Molly comes back.
So angry. So angry. Really hoping that the idea I was feeling over the past few days would have been worth it. What a privilege it is to live in a country where you have bodily autonomy, where you have the right to vote. What a privilege. And all I gotta say, if at any point in the past 24 hours you have commented on my TikTok complaining about your opinion about my catfishing dating profile, all I can say is we are very different types of people. Because if you have the mental capacity to care about a TikToker's dating profile photos, if that's something that has space to occupy your brain, wow. All I can say is this has had a permanent effect on how I will use this platform. I've never been more passionate about being involved in politics in my life. Maybe you wanted a dating update as like a tiny little escape from what's going on right now. All I can tell you is that I've never felt like straight men were more inconsequential ever in my life. Ever felt less about dating. If you think right now I'm gonna come on here and just like give you a dating recap of my latest date with a guy, what my platform once was is no more. It will never be the same. There's no room in my life anymore for straight men meeting the bare minimum.
It feels trivial for her to talk about anything else that's going on right now. Now coming to a moment of realization that, you know, there's more important things going on in the world, which, yes, there are more important things going on in the world. I'd like to think that you can do both. I'd like to think that you can stay informed of what's going on around the world and in your own country, even though she's had like ages to realize this, whatever, and also create funny content. I think that there's room for both, but that's just me. She comes back with another video and it says, Molly gets political.
All right, do you want an update on how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, and what I'm doing? Well, I would first and foremost say that pretty much my entire waking hours right now, with the exception of when I know I need to drink water and consume food and take my dogs out, I've been obsessively consuming content related to this election and the state of our country right now. I've never felt as though my TikTok shop videos and my dating updates and my day in the life vlogs, I've never in my life felt like that type of content was more trivial. And I've also never felt more of a desire to not post that kind of content and to instead focus on the reality of the country that I'm currently living in. My brain is spinning with ideas and plans to use my platform for educational purposes. I've decided that I'm for sure going to start doing a Molly Gets Political series on here, where I share resources, organizations I'm getting involved with, ways I'm advocating, things I'm doing to learn and educate and gain more knowledge myself. The moment I get paid next week, I'm going to buy many Plan Bs. Next week, I'm planning to go to my local library. I'm going to check out books so that I can learn more about the real history behind the United States of America. Read more books about how our government works and is run. I want to learn a lot more about economics. I also want to consume literature that's written by marginalized groups. I'm specifically thinking in my head Black women. I'm also thinking about Black women in terms of consumer items that I promote on my TikTok. The biggest thing in my mind that I'm trying to do is focus on what I can control. And I feel pretty empowered knowing that I can control new information and knowledge. My whole world has shifted. My perspective is completely different than it was a few days ago.
One would argue, one might think, bearing in mind she's a teacher. She's got a master's degree. She actually quit her job her full-time teaching job in order to become a full-time TikToker, okay? We know this so far. This has all happened in a very, very short space of time. And I will say this is the only massively political thing I'm actually going to say. She's now choosing right now, this is her moment to start educating herself on like politics, for instance. And it takes me back to when in this country, people, the very first search, the top search on Google in the UK after we voted for Brexit, I didn't, but people voted for Brexit, was what is Brexit? People just don't anyway. So this is now what she's doing. And people, rightly so, were just being a little bit like, well, what's changed? What's changed now? And it's not just the fact that she wants to start talking about politics. She wants to create a whole entire separate thing, like Molly Gets Political. I think everyone should, you know, get as informed as possible. It all just seems a little bit fishy when you look at the amount of attraction that all of the videos that she's doing in this little timeline are getting. So they got a ton of views, and every single time she was responding to a comment when people were a bit like, yeah, but what's changed now it's going to be affecting you. But yeah, she starts saying that like dating and TikTok and all of that are really trivial. And you know what I hear the most funniest thing is that after all of these TikToks went ahead, the very first thing that she posted was this.
The world might not feel too bright right now, but I got a Christmas tree in the mail from TikTok Shop. I think my soul needs it.
She literally posted a TikTok Shop Christmas tree ad. Someone said, I thought the last thing on your mind was promoting TikTok Shop items. And she said, it was until Christmas tree. And people were like, you are deeply unserious. And someone said, to have a political awakening and then backpedaling a day later is the definition of privilege. She said, as I've mentioned in a previous video, I plan to post more political content, but I will also continue to post my regular content, just not as much as I used to.
I've also never felt more of a desire to not post that kind of content and to instead focus on the reality of the country that I'm currently living in.
Now, me being slightly cynical and looking at the amount of attraction that went on when she was posting about politics and about wanting to support marginalized communities, etc., they got a hell of a lot of views, and then the very first thing that she posts straight after is a Christmas tree ad, which got nearly 1 million views, because it's like rage basing people to then click on the TikTok Shop Christmas tree. I do have my cynical hat on a little bit, Molly. I'm really sorry. Then also responds to a comment about DV. After going on a full-on tirade about how like men, it doesn't really want much to do with men anymore, just feel like dating and someone pulls her up on the fact that, didn't you pull a prank about being involved in DV?
This is a very important point you bring up, so I will address it. Yes, it is true. At Halloween time, I made content that wrongfully and disrespectfully portrayed me as being a victim of domestic violence. It was in poor taste. It was someone that I have created videos where I have taken accountability and apologized for. A lot of people don't accept my apology or my accountability that I've taken, and that's okay. That's their right.
Just to set the record straight, she didn't really apologize when all of that was happening. She basically said, I'm sorry if what I created gave off the impression that was it, but she didn't give the reasoning as to why she did that prank in the very first place.
Comments, and I understand that there were people who felt that my makeup look, which included a black eye and a busted lip, was highlighting domestic violence and physical abuse, which was absolutely not my intention at all.
Jen had a great big to and fro with this creator called Celeste. Basically, it led to Molly saying, well, how come? He said, how come creators like Drew F. Wallow, other creators, bearing in mind they are black creators, you know, creators from the communities in which she is talking about wanting to uplift and all of this kind of stuff. Like, she was like, well, how come they can do it, but I can't? And was just kind of missing the point.
Okay, so I sincerely wonder, what is the answer to that? That's like saying someone like Drew Afwalo, who has this platform that supports marginalized community and women and empowers them, that's like saying every dollar that she's made off of her platform is wrong? Like, what's the answer to this? Like, I have a platform already. I have hundreds of thousands of followers, and I am going to use that platform for good. And yes, that will mean that I'll make money off the TikTok Creator Fund. That means that if I continue to post products that I want to promote or advertise, or if I get brand deals, that yes, I will make money off of that. I don't understand what the argument is here.
Molly, I will say again, if you are committed to missing the point, just say that. What I'm saying is you should have been using your platform before it seemed popular to you, or before this issue hit you directly. You didn't use your platform after George Floyd, after Breonna Taylor. You didn't use your platform in light of other violence that has occurred. Why now? It's because you are being impacted directly. And there is something deeply wrong with someone who is privileged enough to be a cisgender white woman in America, which most white women chose this and voted for Trump, to now suddenly want to use your platform. What I'm saying is you are doing it when it is advantageous to you, when there are women and queer folks that have been doing and leading this work for a long time. Uplift their voices and stick to whatever the hell you've been doing, because now you know it's a current topic. You know you're going to get the engagement and clicks that you so clearly need because you care about this creator fund so much. But stop missing the point. I'm being as clear as I can possibly be.
But I'm telling you that this whole sequence of events, I think there's like 7, 8, 9, 10 different videos of, and those views are up, right? She suddenly decided that, I'm going to get political. And then just slowly over the course of the videos, you can just see it going down and down, like, well, maybe I could do some dating stories. Maybe I could do TikTok shop whatevers. And then of course the very first thing after she does all of this is a Christmas tree.
Because I know that even though I've been obsessively consuming content related to this election ever since the results came out, I would say that I also have still watched funny cat videos and, engaged in things that allowed me to escape, allowed me to feel joy. Just because I know I'm going to speak on politics now more than I ever have, it doesn't mean I'm going to completely stop my other content, right?
I think my overriding thought on this, right, I've mentioned things which could be deemed as political, I suppose, in the past. I've talked about like humanitarian issues and things, and I've raised money through my videos to help certain humanitarian crisis, such as what's been going on in Palestine. Like, I've definitely spoken about things on my channel and tried to like raise awareness and bring stuff. 110%. I think it's the way that she was going about it, where she was like, no, I'm going to completely pivot all of my content. I'm not going to be posting about this anymore. I'm going to be creating a whole Molly Gets Political, and then not quite understanding till it affects her for her to then say something. Understand fully where people are coming from with this one. At the end of the day, this is literally nothing more than rage bait, and I hope that has become apparent through me showing the TikToks. I don't take it seriously, which is the reason why I've been jovial in some parts, just sort of, going, because none of this is really unserious, which is a problem. You can see straight through it, and it's like kind of almost performative activism. And I don't doubt that she doesn't care a little bit about what's going on, but ultimately it is rage bait because she does this kind of stuff all the time. Literally, it's like Amber Lynn and Foodie Beauty. I'm telling you, like, if at any point maybe I've sounded a little bit harsh in my critique, but of the ghouls, I can't say it, GORLS, of them, just imagine it's something that them two do, and you'll be like, yeah, like, she's not being serious. Like, she is completely unserious, but this is how she makes her money, is by pulling stunts like this, and it really sucks, but unfortunately that's just what her channel has now become. And we're still waiting for a date update, which is another point as well, because everyone's still asking her about like the update from the guy with the dog, and I think she got ghosted. She needs to update her profile pictures on Hinge. This is a complete side note, by the way, so you can skip off if you really want to. But I've been watching these dating content creators, and they have been saying you should update your photo like every 6 months, because you don't realize it, but your face changes, like little subtle changes, and it does make a big difference. I think I said this in previous videos I've ever done on her. I love dating TikTok. I think it's hilarious. I think that there's definitely room in the market on TikTok to be able to do like dating content, as long as you're not giving away too much information, you're just telling your side of the story, and like you're using fake names and you're not obviously videoing the person. I don't see an issue with it. I think it's really fun to like be a viewer. It feels like you're going along with them. So I have no issue with dating TikTok, and that's how I originally found Molly. But in the way that she does it, people don't even believe that she's going on these dates. Okay, people don't even think that there is like that there is a date to be gone to. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.